Hey there, I'm Helen King, a brand new singer-songwriter playing the London indie rock music scene. Listen to my personal story on Networking Magazine podcast. From being a music lover from a young age to releasing my own debut album, Look Back No More, out now. 10 tracks of anthemic, melodic, emotive indie rock. You can get a behind-the-scenes glimpse of how it felt to launch my debut album at the iconic London venue The Water Rats on the 11th of February 2025. Look Back No More by Helen King's out now on all major streaming platforms.
I first met Victoria at a fashion show in London where she was hosting on behalf of the designer Bravana. From the moment she took the stage, her poise and elegance were unmistakable, the hallmarks of a seasoned model. Victoria Stepanets, welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here.
It's great to have you on the show. It's been a while now, a couple of weeks at least, since I met you, and you actually featured in one of the Catwalk Diaries magazines. So amazing. So I saw your portfolio online. I thought, wow, just amazing. I saw some of the pictures on Instagram, and I really wanted to talk about your journey, professional and personal. So let's start at the very beginning about how your journey sort of started. Tell us about modeling and hosting high-profile events. How did you get into hosting high-profile events? Where did that happen?
Yeah, actually, it is a long journey. I started as a fashion journalist. I started to work when I was 19 years old, and I became a journalist for the Fashion Post magazine. And then I became an editor-in-chief, and it was my experience where I spoke to different designers, models, and I was exploring this wonderful fashion world. And then I actually started to write some articles on high fashion. So actually what I wanted at the time to be closer to haute couture. So
Right.
on fashion, when we are speaking about where fashion meets art, when we don't speak about only just clothes we are wearing in our everyday life, but something more when some dress which can be very impressive by itself, and when you wear this dress you can feel yourself as a part of this art piece, and it's
Right.
incredible. And actually, after that I decided that I want to develop myself more in this area, and then I took part in one art photo project. Actually, it was about psychological portrait
Right.
in black and white by Natalia Sukhanova, photographer. And I felt again that photo can be much more than just a pretty image. So
Well,
it can
I read that. I read that you actually, you're a photographer. You've worked the other side of the camera as well. Is that true? You've taken photographs?
I'm not a photographer myself, but I now I'm also as an art curator. So sometimes I can be on the other part, for example, on the part from the organizational side,
Huh?
helping to carry everything and to make it happen. But I'm
Right.
not a photographer. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about your upbringing and your background and how it influenced you. Where were you brought up? Where was it? London? Where were you brought up, and sort of what influenced your career choice?
Yeah, I was born in Kiev in Ukraine. I'm Ukrainian, and it's very interesting that what I'm doing now, all these fields around art, culture, fashion, I don't have anyone in my family who is related to this field.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it's very interesting. But actually, what helped me a lot that I was raised in a family where I was given much space to do what I wanted, and my mother, she supported me all my ideas. And if
Right.
I found a new course and I said that I want to learn this one and this one, she was very happy to support in everything. So actually, my family, they gave me all the opportunities to develop myself as I wish, and
Wow.
I was not forced to do anything because they wanted me to do this. So
I
I
mean,
was.
did you wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm really good at matching colors, and how did you sort of get into the fashion side? Was it magazines? Did you see an article? Did you read an article? Did you watch television? What sort of took you into the world of fashion? And how old were you?
It's interesting also question because it was like not a direct way in my case. So I started, as I said, like to work at the fashion magazine, but then
Right.
I launched a culture trend magazine. It was about actually like art and culture. And after that, I wanted to combine these two fields in a very like interesting way to show that fashion, again, it can be much more than we imagine. It's not only like about pretty images again. And I work like as a curator first.
Right.
So organizing like different events where I worked with models, like with some photographers, with painters, sculptors, and we did different shows throughout Europe, like art exhibitions.
Right.
And then I met Brovarna fashion brand actually, and
Right.
we started to collaborate with this amazing English brand. And it's about actually this high fashion, what
Yes.
I actually wanted. And when I saw those clothes, I was so impressed, and I realized that it is like something I really love. And when I wear like all these dresses, I felt myself like myself,
Yeah.
When
Yeah. Well,
me smells like
that's where our story began, because I met you at that very same fashion show, Brovarna in London, and it was amazing the way that you were so knowledgeable about the brand, and you were able to guide the audience who were there through the history of the clothing. You were wearing the clothing. It was so believable and so knowledgeable, and that's really why I had to get you on the show. Let's talk about moving on. I mean, the kind of lessons you've learned, the kind of challenges you've had along the way. What would you say was the main challenge for you personally?
I think it's about, because the fashion industry is very competitive and
Yes.
you compare yourself to others.
Right.
And I think this is a big mistake. So you should not compare yourself to others. Like, to be actually, from my point of view, if you want to be
Right.
like successful at what you are doing, you need to realize your uniqueness and
Right.
just to understand that you are unique. So all the others, they're not your competitors, like they're just others. And
Yeah.
then you can see like in every model, in everyone, like their uniqueness, then you can realize yourself better. And this like self-awareness actually what
Right.
plays a great role in what you are doing. And after that, you can just enjoy the process and not try like to make like competition with others, but just like enjoying and working. And yeah.
You're very, very educated. I think you have a degree, don't you? In you didn't just follow fashion, but you're very educated. You went to the University of Krakow. You have an MA in multimedia journalism from the Higher School of Economics, and a BA in advertising, business advertising from Kiev National University of Trade and Economics. Very, very highly qualified. So let's talk about that a little bit. In this world, in the world of fashion, how important is a background in education? I watch so many influencers on Instagram with very little education, but a lot to say, and they're quite successful. Is education still very important? Does it play a key part in what you do?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Juliette Cochet, a talented French actress, making her mark in New York City. From dreams of Hollywood to captivating performances on stage and screen, Juliette's story is one of determination, creativity, and following one's passion. Join us as we detail her rise to fame, her roles, and her unique approach to acting. Whether you're an aspiring performer or simply in need of a dose of motivation, Juliette's journey will inspire you to pursue your dreams. Read the full interview now on our website, networkingmagazine.co.uk.
Education plays a huge role in my life, and I believe that it's very important to be educated because, again, like fashion, it's not only about your face and like how beautiful you are, like how pretty you are. It's also about your content. It's
Right.
about like what. So you, I mean that I think that every model, they should also be interesting for others, for other people.
Yes.
Because you can like find, for example, some partner that like photographer you want to work with, and you can do like the 1, 2 maybe photo shoot. But if you are not interesting person, and if you don't have like something more than just your partnership, but I mean that you can have like very deep conversation with those people, then
Yes.
you can keep going and to work more with them, to have like a long-term your professional relations with them, and it will be very like interesting and mutually interesting, and it's like the same what I want from the person I meet. So it's very
Right.
important for me like to have this interesting conversation with them.
Yeah.
But again, like education, it's not about making money. I mean, like it doesn't mean you can make money and not be educated. We can see like
Right.
a lot of examples like this.
Yeah.
Um,
Loads.
yeah, it's not about making money. It's about like your understanding the life. It's about how is that you can see like the bigger picture of what is going on in the world. So, and you can understand much better like a lot of issues in the political like situations, and like in economy or like in fashion as well. If you're
Yes.
speaking about like how it is built as a business, or so you can see, understand, and then just like really it
Yeah.
helps a lot. It helps
Yeah.
like when you want to make like some conclusions and to move forward, and so like to build your life not just like beautiful but also meaningful.
Yeah. Definitely want you on my team. Okay. Well, what about working with renowned designers? It must bring some unforgettable moments. Are there any memorable experiences or stories working with designers like Bravana that stand out to you as sort of a really strong memory?
I'm actually on my way now in this, so I got very great connections with great photographers, and we are discussing now some beautiful and meaningful projects with them. So it's about not just like art photography, I would say. So, and editorial fashion, yeah, like when it's not only about the picture, but also about the values and
Yeah.
meanings like beyond this picture. And we are discussing with them. So actually, I hope that we will come
I'll
up
stay
with some
tuned.
ideas
Yeah,
as
I'll
well.
stay tuned. I'll stay
Yeah.
tuned. And you'll have to let us know what's going on, when you've actually got these collaborations in motion. Yeah, definitely. Okay, confidence is key when you're in the public eye. How do you maintain your confidence and composure when you're in the spotlight? I mean, when I saw you, were very composed, very confident. How do you keep that? Is there something you do to practice? Is there some advice you can give? How do you keep that composure?
I think the only one advice is experience. So to have as many events as possible, as many like fashion shows as possible, because without any experience, like no rules will help you.
Yeah, right. I got that.
Yeah,
Got-
but also it's about when you love what to do.
yeah,
So for me, like if I really love the brand I represent, if I really like love the project I'm doing, I can speak about this like very confident without like any efforts from my side, like any additional efforts. I
yeah,
just want to share, like sincere want to share with the audience, like what is this about,
yeah.
and helps me like to make it in a confident way. But it's yeah, it's about like to love what you do and to practice all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me a little. I did promise Bravana that you would be the voice of Bravana. So, just as a slight sort of summary, tell me a little bit about the designer Bravana. How did you meet? Where did you meet? What attracted you to the clothing? I know you said art, but what was it? I mean, tell us a little bit about the designer Bravana as a voice.
Yeah, first we met around 2 years ago, and then I did an art project, and we collaborated within that art project that they had like a fashion show at within our art event. And then we met each other, we spoke to each other, and then we decided maybe to collaborate closely and to see what can happen in this. And I can to her studio in central London and just
Yes.
like wore a few dresses and realized that it's like something what was made for me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like very much what I wanted, and it's like very in a very harmonic way when
Yeah.
I wore
Yeah.
this. And then Любовь Brovarna, she told me more about her brand, that she works with the artists. And for example, if you can see like some painting like on the clothes,
Yes.
it's not about the print, it's like all the hand painted works.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed by the approach because it is made in a very professional way. So she is very strong in all the details what she's doing. She's very
Yeah.
responsible, like in everything.
Absolutely love her work, by the way. I think she's an amazing designer. I too met her at a fashion show going back now 2 years. And I had the same experience when I saw the clothing. Not that I was going to wear the clothing, but it felt to me as if somebody was wearing art. And I love that. I love that aspect from the designer. Back to you, Victoria. Let's talk about the fashion world. It is evolving. It is changing. And, what's your opinion as to where it's heading? Your professional opinion. Are we heading towards more sort of bespoke designers that are going against the grain and not following high street rules? Are we looking at more boutique type designers? What do you think will be the future of design?
I think it depends on us. I mean that we have very different styles and very different levels of fashion. And actually, like we can see that it's all about like sometimes marketing and advertising, yeah, like all the fashion brands,
Yeah.
and not all the very popular and well-known fashion brands are really beautiful, like I mean all the collections. So we can see that maybe we don't love this like collection, but this very famous brand. It's like about marketing, but we could see that there are a lot of emerging artists and designers who are making wonderful things, but sometimes they don't have like enough efforts in marketize like themselves and
Right.
to make
Right.
it like more popular. And I think this is what we should do. I mean that to pay attention to some
Mm.
emerging designers as well, and to speak out that maybe like we love this collection and we might not like a popular one collection. So
Right.
not everything what is popular and well known should be interesting, you know, like, and we have the right to choose. And maybe
Sure.
sometimes like not so popular designers, they might be even better
Yeah.
than very well known. And I think this is where we need like to work on and to make our future and fashion future really very diverse, and to give like more opportunities to some again like emerging artists who really deserve this and
Yeah.
design.
How important is Instagram, social media, if you like, in your industry? Is it everything or is it just one factor?
It's really very important, and I actually am using social media for professional purposes only. So I had my personal account, but I deleted it like 6 months ago or something like this, and now I have only like professional one, and one like for art curation and another for fashion. And I'm using this like for connection because in London you are always like getting a lot of useful contacts, and you need to understand how to work out with all of them, and how to collaborate with like all of them, you know, and to see who is like really interesting for you. And Instagram like helps not creating like a special website or like something and to promote this. You can create your portfolio, yeah, like using
Yeah.
Instagram, and you can get feedback instantly.
Right.
And it is
Right.
also very important that you have a live dialogue with like everyone, and so you can see like reactions, you can understand what people love, what they like love more, less. And again, like I meet some people who said that they don't use like any Instagram, like Facebook, any social media, and I was very surprised because I can't understand how they promote themselves. So you need maybe you need to be or very famous already, then you might not have any social
Yeah.
media, and or you might need an agent who is working for you in all of
Yeah.
it. But actually, if you work in a different fields, for me, for example, I work on a few projects at the same time, and it's important for me to show the results. And for example, I have some idea, I post about this, and this post will give me some people who really love the idea, want to support it, and to become to collaborate within this.
Yeah.
And it's very. It depends how you use this. So
I
if you're
think
just
so. Yeah.
scrolling all the photos and videos all the time, of course, maybe it's not very helpful. But
Yeah.
if you understand what kind of contact you are interested in and how you can use this, it's very
Interesting. Yeah. It's become a tool. It's a tool, a fashion tool that we have to learn to use. Look, success means different things to different people. How do you define success and happiness? How do you sort of pin that to your sort of portfolio? Is it modeling? Is it fashion design? Is it curating? What does success mean to you?
Maybe it's really I have been thinking about this for a long time, because it's really important to define for yourself what do you
Right.
want, how you measure whether this is successful or not.
I do this every day. I'm still not quite sure.
You need to reflect on this. And as you said, that success means different things to different people. It's also very important to understand. And maybe for me, success is when I can exceed my expectations in what I'm doing. So um, when something becomes unbelievable for me, when I can could not expect such results and I got this. In otherwise, it can be just okay, we did this and it's well done, but maybe not very successful if we just achieved the goals we set for us. But if we exceeded this, if we achieve
Yes.
something more, maybe this
Yes.
is about success. And it relates to all the projects I'm doing, in fashion curation, because it's all everything is very interconnected. So
Right.
it looks like I am working in culture, art, fashion, but everything, all these areas, they are very interconnected between themselves. And that's why, for me to have the successful projects, it's about exceed my expectations from this.
Interesting. When I saw you at the event, it was interesting because you did take a back seat. You are this very you obviously were a model. You obviously were wearing the Brovarna clothing, but you did take a step back and you delivered a very, very professional sort of insight into Brovarna, the designer. But you did take a step back from modeling. Were you kind of looking at the models thinking, I used to be there and now I'm here. Did you kind of incorporate it all? Did being a model help you to now doing what you do and how you do it?
Yes, it helps a lot, because modeling, again, some people could think that it's so easy, just models, you're just posing
Right.
in front of the camera, you're just enjoying, and you don't do any work. But actually, no, because models, they are working on themselves every day.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
about how you perceive yourself. It's about how you move, how you breathe. I don't know. Yeah, how you speak and everything.
Yeah.
Even all your thoughts are also influenced, because what you are thinking, you can easily, your face is changing
Right. Right.
when you
Yeah.
think, for example, something not very good, or not very positive way, or something
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
automatically. And
Yeah.
we for models, it's very important to understand what is your main focus at this
Right.
moment, because
Yeah.
everyone can feel this, and what is inside, because we know that how you look and what is inside and outside is very interconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Victoria,
So
you've done so much in your career. Do models ask for your opinion? Do makeup artists talk to you about your opinion? Do you sort of socialize with other models, or is it just work and home and and getting down to business? Or do you still? I mean, do you give advice? Do you help models? Do you still get involved on that level, or not so much?
Really no, because to be honest, I maybe like I don't have enough time for this, and I don't have like close friends models.
Right.
So it's just like for work, but it's not because I don't want to make friends with them. It's just
Sure.
because now like I'm focusing on different projects, and I really sometimes I don't have like enough time to call to my
Yeah.
mother, and it's all about that I'm focusing now, and it's about London. You
Yeah.
understand? Like it's
Yeah.
very interesting city because you have so many opportunities and you
Yeah.
want to like get everything and so you are working all the time, and that's why like sometimes you just don't have time to relax. I don't know, like to go to some party with your friends.
Sure.
So
Sure.
for me, just like some relations we have only when we have like some project together.
Right. Inspiration comes from anywhere. Who or what inspires you to keep striving for more? I mean, the kind of work you do is so diverse, but what's your inspiration? Is it a certain person? Do you have a mentor? You don't have to name any names, but do you have a mentor who helps you to keep your motivation alive?
I would like to have a mentor, but I don't.
Don't say that too loud. We'll get flooded. We'll get...
I have like very a lot of questions.
Right.
And I need sometimes like a person who can answer to all these questions.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
then I realized that I need to find my own answers in this because like, no, I don't have like the person who knows everything. Of course, no.
Right. Yeah.
And, but I have a lot of sources of inspiration and the life itself, to be honest, it's
Of
very
course.
inspiring.
Yeah,
And
of
then
course.
and London.
Yeah.
Actually, when I moved to London, this is the city of my dream. I wanted
Right.
to move here for a long time, and I realized like why I wanted because you open like so many opportunities here and so many again like inspiration when you can see like that everything is possible.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
that's
have
it. Yeah.
so many examples where you see like that this possible, and because when I studied like in Poland, for example,
Mhm.
at the Bologna University, like I love this university, everything is great, but the mentality is very different. So they have such kind of rules, and when I suggested some ideas, they said, for example, no, it's impossible. We
Right.
can't do. You need like to make it, like not so large scale, to make it
Right.
like smaller and so on. But then when I moved to London and when I studied at the Royal College of Art and I offered some ideas, I just heard, yes, of course you can do this. Like everything is possible, please. And it was
Wow.
for me
Yeah.
also like how people are thinking in a very different way. So they don't
Yeah.
have like borders, and it's inspiring. Actually, like I think that everything what you see in London is very inspiring in the way of your professional career.
Are there any causes or projects that you're passionate about outside of your career? Is there something particularly that you want to help? For example, I don't know, you did mention something about, thinking outside the box. Is there something that's outside of your career that you're passionate about?
I have like I have some projects. Maybe they're all like related somehow to what I'm
Right.
doing, but maybe like some what I'm working on now. Actually, it's like music poetry project, and we are working with music bands and with poets. So we are offering like the text of the poets to music bands, and then they produce songs, and then we work like on this production, post production, and it's very interesting for me. It's very new for me, and it's very inspiring. It's something like I didn't do before, and it helps me also to understand how it's like the business in music field works. So
How do you get the time? I don't understand how you can get the time. I mean, honestly, you do so much. Is time a problem for you? I mean, do you sort of have to work weekends sometimes? Are you so involved that you work very late hours? How do you manage so much? I just don't get it. What's your secret?
I'm working 24 hours maybe. I work a lot, but it's sometimes, for example, I can travel a lot as well.
Right.
And so, like when you're traveling, you are attending different events, you are always like working. So I
Right.
mean,
Right.
Like because you are there like for connections, so I can't just like now to come to the private view of any exhibition and just like to be a viewer, a visitor. I
Wow.
need to connect with people. So actually everything like I'm doing, it's somehow related to my professional development.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying that I'm like working 24 hours. But
You're a
in this
workaholic. You're a workaholic.
I love this, and I just like want to achieve like what I want, and I need to work on this. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's also I'm very like demanding maybe to people I'm working with, and
Right.
I'm not sure that it's a good way because I understand that not everyone is like going to work so much, and it's okay, it's normal. They have like their
Yeah.
time at the time like from until like 6 o'clock in the evening, and then they're free. And sometimes I want them like also to work more, but of course I can't.
It's impossible.
Work on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
But I mean that it's like about when your life. It's not about the work. It's about like your development. I would say you're like
Yeah.
professional, and you need to do this, and you want to do this if you want to work in this area.
Tell me a little bit more about the modeling side. I mean, I've seen some of your work on Instagram. I'm going to post your Instagram there so other people can see in the podcast description box. You've got different looks. You've got so many different looks as a model. What's your favorite type of modeling? Is it high fashion? Is it boutique designer wear? Is it what kind of fashion do you like as a model that you really enjoyed modeling?
I think it's about high fashion when you become like a part of again like of this artwork. And I don't love like some just commercial photo shoot. So
Right.
like when you want to sell anything, I love something more, like something like just you can wear like some jewelry like and for selling, but
Yeah.
again it should be like something around this, something like beyond this just picture, so some idea in this
Right.
image.
Right.
And I love like to work in this way, and also psychological portraits.
Wow.
And for example, I took part in one photo project. It was before the new year, like last year in
Right.
December, and it was very interesting because the photographer asked me like to have no makeup, like
Right.
no
Yeah.
preparation,
Yeah.
just
Natural
be
look.
yourself, natural look, and we did in a very therapeutic way. So it
Right.
took like 2 hours, and we were dancing, and then she like took these photos, and it was very interesting and useful. It was
Wow.
very useful also.
Yeah.
Like I love this because I love like true images. I love like
Yeah.
when you can feel the person and not just to see something
Yeah.
made for purpose, but you want to see the person
Yeah.
in the model. And I think this kind of photos this helps actually to
Yeah.
reveal self.
Are you still going to model? Are you still going to continue with modeling, or are you now on the other side of the modeling career and you're concentrating on what you're doing now? Is modeling still very much part of what you do?
Yeah, I want to continue, and actually, I am continuing. And we will have the upcoming fashion show on the 1st of May in London. It will be the
Lovely.
entire fashion show. So yeah, it's very interesting for me, like to be on the different sides of this project, of this process.
Right.
And yeah, like I love to be a model and want to continue to develop myself in this.
Right. Okay. And it's 2026. Lots of things happening. Lots of new emerging artists. Lots of new emerging designers. What's the future look like for Victoria? Is it exciting, full of different things happening, or is it mundane and it's going to be the same? Are you looking forward to 2026? What kind of things, apart from what you just said, are you going to be involved with? What kind of projects?
I hope I hope that like some photo projects of high fashion will happen. What we
Right.
are working on now, and also I'm like negotiating with one photographer from Europe, and she's working also with art photography, and she's making like some photos which are very similar to the paintings. and we want
Beautiful.
to
Yeah.
collaborate within this. I don't know whether it will be like this year or like the beginning of the next one, because it takes time for preparation for everything, because actually like those photos, they require like a lot of time of preparation, especially. But yeah, we are in contact, and I hope to try myself in this. I really would love to.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, Victoria, it was lovely to have you on the show. And I'm sure you'll be back to talk to us again about just after you've done your next fashion show. So you can, to come back and talk to us about that. Great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for this wonderful conversation and for inviting. It's a
You're
pleasure.
welcome. You're welcome. As I mentioned before, Victoria's details will be in the podcast description box, so make sure you like and follow her. And for this episode, unfortunately, we're out of time. So until next time, bye for now. Cypher Issue 2 is out now. In this edition, we feature singer-songwriter Kelsey Watts, who performed on The Voice. She's just released her new single, Fit In. We also interview Helen King, a talented indie singer-songwriter who's gaining international attention. Actor and producer Jonathan Stoddard shares his personal and professional journey with us, and we also talk to martial artist James Sang Lee, who's worked as an actor, stuntman and fight choreographer in movies like Lethal Weapon 4 and Plane, starring Gerard Butler. You can buy Cypher in print or read it online at our website, networkingmagazine.co.uk. Check the bio for details.